Hello everyone, Jul here. It's been a while since the last time we talked about new turn-based strategy or RPG games, and I think it's time for us to venture into the part 2 of this series. Some of these games might have already been featured in one of my previous videos, but I will feature them again just in case you guys miss it. And since most of these games are still pretty new or not even released yet, the number in this video is not representing the ranking of the game. But before we go into the list, I want to introduce you to the best platform for buying games in this modern era, and it's called Instant Gaming. Instant Gaming is the perfect place for you to shop in games these days. Your transactions are legit, fast, and their supports are ready 24/7, so you don't need to worry about anything. Do you think I was done? Not even close. They have lots of games for your favorite platforms, and they have the best deals as well. Instead of cutting your budget for dinner to buy new games, why not try Instant Gaming and eat healthy as well? All you have to do is just click my link in the description below, start searching for your favorite games, and use the activation code on your chosen platforms. By using my link, you're not only saving tons of money, but also helping me to support this channel. Alright then, let's get back into the list. Dark Deity 2 is a strategy RPG that builds upon the foundation of its predecessor with greater ambition, deeper customization, and a heightened sense of strategic tension. At a glance, the game echoes genre staples such as Fire Emblem, offering grid-based encounters where positioning, class dynamics, and team synergy are paramount. That being said, it diverges meaningfully with its impressive scope for customization. Not only that, with 20 main heroes and 45 class options, the game encourages players to experiment with builds and abilities far beyond rigid archetypes.
Hope this works!
LONESTAR is a strategy RPG that blends roguelike progression, deck-building mechanics, and tactical spaceship combat within a colorful, lawless sci-fi setting. At its core, the game features a turn-based shockwave battle system, where players and enemies build power turn by turn. And rather than relying on traditional randomness alone, victory hinges on efficient sequencing and momentum management, evoking familiar rhythms for fans of deck builders while offering fresh mechanical framing through its energy duels. Three Kingdoms: The Blood Moon is a game that presents a fusion of historical drama and deck-building strategy within a roguelike framework. The game begins with modest tools, which are attacks, evades, healing abilities, and buffs. These foundational mechanics quickly give way to deeper strategic layers as players gather relics and customize their deck across procedurally generated runs. Card categorization also forgoes traditional energy systems in favor of a type-based mechanic, which are 4 distinct categories that govern card behavior and synergy. Girls Frontline 2 is a turn-based strategy game that builds upon the tactical depth and narrative intrigue of its predecessor while embracing a more ambitious scope. The gameplay centers on tactical turn-based combat, elevated through fully 3D environments. Cover mechanics, elevation changes, and interactive terrain provide a rich tactical palette. Enemy AI is also adaptive, and mission parameters shift based on objectives, enemy types, and map design, providing a consistently dynamic battlefield experience. Ashes of Elrant is a DLC that marks the return to the richly crafted world of Chained Echoes that deepens the lore and extends the experience of the original game. Set prior to the final confrontation in the base game, Ashes of Elrant transports players to a distant land beyond Volandis. This new setting presents a mysterious and treacherous environment marked by illusions and concealed dangers, and within this enigmatic landscape, the Clan of the Crimson Wings are called to uncover the truth hidden beneath the surface, adding further context to the events of the main narrative. Mythic Battlegrounds is a game that presents a turn-based strategy experience in which success hinges on the meticulous planning that precedes each encounter. The game situates players within a fantasy world on the brink of collapse, where 4 distinct races wage a desperate campaign against overwhelming demonic forces. Each faction is equipped with unique commanders and unit rosters, and leadership plays a pivotal role in shaping a player's tactical approach. With over 40 available unit types, including legendary units tied to each race, a balanced and versatile army becomes essential for success. Die in the Dungeon is a roguelike deck builder that introduces an innovative mechanic by replacing traditional card-based systems with dice. In this game, each round begins with a randomized roll of dice from the player's deck into their hand. These dice include attack, block, healing, and enhancement types, each demanding a certain amount of energy to activate. The mechanics emphasize positioning and sequencing, as players must choose not only which dice to use, but also where to place them for optimal effect. The enemy's actions are also revealed in advance, which adds more control into your decisions. Emperor of the Fading Suns Enhanced is a game that marks the return of a storied 4X strategy title. This enhanced edition builds upon nearly 3 decades of community-driven development, offering refined mechanics, updated visuals, and expanded systems that modernize the original gameplay. That being said, the core premise also remains intact, which is guiding a noble house through the chaos of galactic dark age, leveraging military force, political maneuvering, and economic influence to ascend to the imperial throne. Fuga Melodies of Steel 3 is a turn-based JRPG that continues the emotionally charged narrative of its predecessors, delivering a blend of tactical gameplay, character-driven storytelling, and new strategic systems that deepen its dramatic core. Central to its design is the use of weakness combos, which reward players for exploiting enemy vulnerabilities by enabling escalating chains of damage. Additionally, the inclusion of assist attacks brings fresh tactical depth, allowing former enemies and a legendary figure from previous entries to enter the fray and provide critical support. Look Outside is a compact RPG that combines survival horror with resource management. Encounters with enemies are inevitable, but each venture offers the opportunity to secure food, crafting materials, and partial insights into the mysterious affliction. In this game, combat operates within a turn-based system, notable for its spatial considerations. Players must account not only for their equipment and inventory, but also the physical positioning of enemies in confined environments. Moreover, each creature is also meticulously designed, amplifying the game's visual commitment to the unsettling atmosphere. Mirrored Soul is a pixel graphics JRPG that presents a distinctive blend of turn-based RPG mechanics, monster collection, and narrative-driven detective work. At its core, the gameplay revolves around monster recruitment and fusion. With over 200 unique monsters to discover, Mirrored Soul encourages experimentation and adaptability. Some creatures can be negotiated with, while others must be defeated or persuaded through non-combat interactions. This layered system demands a strategic mindset, as the circumstances for recruitment are often as varied as the creatures themselves. Makai Agito is a modern dungeon-crawling RPG that intertwines supernatural folklore with urban dread. the game evoking the aesthetics and mechanics of classic dungeon crawlers while layering in systems of monster collection and fusion. Combat unfolds in a turn-based format that incorporates tactical positioning through front and back row dynamics. Moreover, a major component of the experience involves the recruitment and management of monsters. Once recruited, monsters can be equipped to your characters, granting them elemental affinities, active and passive abilities, and stat modifications. Dawnsbury Days: The Profane Barrier is a narrative-rich DLC that continues the story from the base game, offering an expanded and more challenging adventure for characters between levels 5 and 8. In terms of mechanics, this DLC significantly expands the available options for character growth and customization. There are over 100 new spells and more than 60 feats are introduced, allowing for more mechanical evolution as characters ascend to level 8. Not only that, access to new iconic spells along with advanced martial feats and class-specific enhancements also provides the tools necessary to meet the increasingly complex challenges. Dark Pact is a tactical turn-based strategy game that prioritizes creative problem-solving and spatial manipulation over raw statistical optimization. Drawing clear inspiration from titles such as Fire Emblem and Advance Wars, it presents a streamlined yet challenging system of combat where control of the battlefield is paramount. Nearly every ability has some form of secondary effect, such as pushing, pulling, or redirecting enemies to new positions. As a result, the battlefield itself becomes a dynamic, ever-shifting puzzle where positioning can determine the success or failure of an entire encounter. Sunderfolk is a tactical RPG that offers a fresh take on the genre by optimizing its design for couch co-op experience. At its core, the game emphasizes dynamic storytelling and tactical decision-making. Each player selects one of 6 uniquely designed hero classes, each offering distinct strategic possibilities and customizable builds. The combat is also presented with a huge influence from tabletop RPG mechanics, providing a methodical turn-based format that encourages synergy and careful planning.
And employ impeccable strategy. But your adventure's just getting started.
The Lost Hero is a unique strategy RPG that revisits the whimsical world of Ivoire. The game retains and builds upon the distinct mechanics that set the Phantom Brave series apart from conventional tactical RPGs. Rather than relying on grid-based movement, The Lost Hero features a free-form battlefield system that emphasizes spatial awareness. Players now are also able to summon phantoms into battle by binding spirits into an object through the Confine system. Each object type influences the summoned phantom stats, which adds a new layer of strategy to the combat experience.
Not bad. In my sights.
Dice and Goblins is a turn-based RPG that fuses the unpredictability of dice rolls with tactical planning. Set across 10 interconnected dungeon levels, exploration follows a classic grid-based system, allowing for movement in multiple dimensions. Gameplay-wise, the combat unfolds through a dice-based turn system where the outcome of each roll influences available actions. Dice can also be combined with skills to produce combos that allow for devastating sequences or game-changing effects. Chains of Freedom is a game that delivers atmospheric experience set in a fictional dystopian Eastern Europe. In this game, combat is grounded in a classic turn-based format where careful positioning, terrain awareness, and ability synergy are essential to survival. Each squad member possesses unique traits and skill sets, encouraging players to experiment with squad composition and strategy. Success requires adapting tactics to an array of unpredictable battlefield scenarios, with enemies that frequently shift in behavior and capabilities.
Enemy eliminated.
SaGa Frontier 2 Remastered is a remarkable restoration of one of Square Enix's classic RPGs, preserving the original's charm while correcting its previous problems. This remaster addresses many of the pain points that hampered the original release. Players now benefit from quick save and autosave options, adjustable game speed, and an option to prevent being trapped in the difficult scenarios. These enhancements significantly reduced the previous frustrations, which resulted in a more inviting engagement. Trails Beyond the Horizon is a JRPG that marks a pivotal chapter in the long-running Trails series, advancing both its narrative ambition and gameplay mechanics. Just like the previous games from this Calvard arc, it builds its combat upon the dual combat system introduced in Trails Through Daybreak. What makes this game so hype, however, is the fact that we will see some returning characters from the Cold Steel series and even Trails in the Sky. That being said, you absolutely have to play the previous games first, unless you want to miss a lot of context. Alright boys, I think that's it for today. I know that there are other new turn-based games that I haven't mentioned yet, so how about sharing your best turn-based games that probably deserve a spot in the comment section below. Don't forget to like the video and make sure to subscribe to the channel if you don't want to miss another great list. Thank you for watching and have a good day. Peace!
I can do this.